Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, which also means welcome to another ridiculous challenge. So I have this friend, let's call them Martine. Now, Martine walks everywhere. And I'm talking like walks to the gym, walks to the grocery store, walks to classes, just walks everywhere, especially while they are reading. They specifically pace around their apartment. Now, I've always thought that this is just like such an incredible habit to have. I mean, it's something that you're doing for hours a day, potentially. If you could be getting movement in the entire time, that's just a very healthy relationship to have with it. Now, I'm not going to get into it really right here, but I myself have been on a bit of a health journey, and part of that journey has been attempting to improve my steps every day, trying to get as close to 10,000 steps as I can every day. Thus, how this challenge came to be, I'm going to try only reading while walking for a solid week, a solid 7 days. I'm going to give myself the smallest caveat in that, where as long as I'm up and moving, I can be reading. So if I'm doing laundry, if I'm doing dinner, if I'm doing dishes, all of those activities, like, I could still listen to my audiobook for. I just cannot be sitting while listening. Not in the car, not in my bed, not at work, only while physically up and moving. I'm really intrigued to see how this will impact how many hours I read throughout the week. I should have been keeping track, but I didn't before this challenge. I don't really know how much I read now, but I will let you know, like, if I feel like I'm reading more or less than usual. Now, I've been doing a lot of traveling the last few weeks, so I do have a lot of YouTube videos to get through. So I'm kind of hoping that this will also help with that goal, just because those times when I'm like getting ready to lay down and relaxing, I'll be watching stuff instead of reading, and then only reading when I'm in the mood to be up and grooving. Now, please make sure you do go check out Martine's channel. I will have it linked down below. I love Martine so much. Thank you for inspiring me, Martine, to get up and grooving. I am considering putting a picture up of Martine to be my inspiration, so I'll let you know if I end up doing that. My final notes before this challenge really kicks off. It is Sunday, the 10th of August. I'm probably honestly not going to be doing much reading today because I'm going to be going to the mall and go shopping a little bit. I will, when I get home, probably want to read a little bit and have to be doing some fun little pacing. But to give you an idea of what I need to read, luckily we're actually, like, my work is closed for the next week, so I don't have anything that I need to do, like, for an assignment for the week. So the world's kind of my oyster, and the only things I need to finish for book clubs are these two Sarah Dessen novels for the Throwback book club. Our discussion is going to be next Sunday, so I have a week to get them done. Otherwise, I'm just obsessed with Dune, so I kind of want to keep working my way through Dune Messiah. Right now I'm on page 104, but I'm hooked on the Dune world, and I am loving Dune Messiah. I know this book and all the sequels get kind of mixed reviews, so we will see. I'll keep you updated on my thoughts. But those are the only books I have planned for this week. Everything else, we're going entirely based on what's going to be easiest to carry and or listen to while I'm up and moving, because I don't think I want to read a 900-page fantasy that I have to carry a hardcover of while I walk around my house for 4 hours. So that's the challenge. Thank you, Martine. I don't know if Martine knows how much they inspired this challenge. That's all I got for you. I'm gonna go shopping, and I will check in before the night's over. Hello, friends. It is about 8 p.m., so the end of the day Sunday. I can pretty confidently say that I'm not gonna be reading anything for this first day, but that's pretty typical for me for a weekend. I usually do the primary bulk of my reading during the week. I'm also sorry, I would have taken you with me throughout the mall for like a little bit of shopping, but it was so unbelievably busy. We kind of just hit the couple things we wanted to do and then got out of there. I'm about to start wrapping up for the night, take my shower, wash my face, so there's not gonna be anything else really going on this evening. And again, I'm kind of probably just gonna start watching like videos to relax instead of picking a book up. Now, I will give you an update on how many steps I hit each day, but I'm not here for a conversation on it. I'm not really here to like discuss what steps I should be taking, but I will bring it up just because I want to see how much the pacing adds up, or if I even notice a difference, how I feel. That's for the sake of this science experiment. I will tell you my steps, but I will wait to do that until like the next morning each day so that I can see like the full amount. With that though, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this first day of the challenge. I read absolutely nothing, and in the morning we will meet back up and discuss the game plan for this week to really destroy this challenge. Good morning, friends. It is day 2 of this challenge, but before I catch you up on what I've done this morning, let's go over our vision board for this challenge. As you can see here, our goal is to embody Martine for this week. How do we do this? We walk. We're going to be getting as many steps in, specifically while we are pacing to read. What am I going to be reading? We're going to be prioritizing easy things that are not heavy to carry, things that I have digitally, and things that I have audiobooks for. These are just to keep my eyes on the prize during this week. Now, another thing that Martine and I have in common is we are both from Florida, and Florida is hot. Now, granted, regardless of this heat, Martine be still walking everywhere outside. I will be utilizing this handy dandy tool called a treadmill. The treadmill at my gym is not cute and pink, but it will get the job done. Now, another tactic though to get my steps in is to walk my friend Charmin. Charmin is also my best friend, and he likes a good walk or two. But to do that, I have to be outside, which means I can only strategically take him on a walk when it's like really cool at 7 in the morning or all the way at 10 p.m. So we will utilize this mostly for the mornings and the afternoons, this for during the day. No! A final thing to consider throughout this week is to stay hydrated. As you see here, I have my koala on my Owala. I am an Owala Stan account. I drink at least 3 or 4 bottles already a day. So we're just gonna make sure that we keep that energy going. And the goal at the end of the week will be to turn this Martine, who isn't actually upset with me, but I needed a stern face for this. I'm gonna turn this Martine into this Martine. That concludes my presentation. I'm sorry, I thought I printed these bigger than I did, so they are still pretty small, but this will remain up for the challenge, although we're not at Happy Martine yet. We're still at Disappointed Martine, and we will see how my week goes. Okay, now that we've gone over the vision board, let's talk about where we are at right now. It is about 4 p.m., so a little bit later than I'd like, but I had a bit of a slow start to my morning. Let me backtrack a little bit though and fill you in on my final step count from yesterday, day 1. So yesterday I read 0 pages, 0 minutes, and I walked a total of 4,817 steps. This feels very accurate. I mean, it was kind of a rest day. I went to the mall for just a little bit. Otherwise, I was kind of driving there and back, just relaxing at home, making dinner. But that gives us a baseline. That gives us a baseline of what I'm kind of hitting when I'm not picking up my book at all. Now, as of this morning, I have been up and grooving a little bit, like I said, just a little later than I thought. So I have taken Sherman on his walk. I went to the gym and walked for a little while, and I am at 3,503 steps, so really still very, very low. Again, though, it's only like not even quite 4 p.m. It's like 3:50, so I have a lot of the day ahead of me and a lot of reading on my mind. Something that I did not tell you I would be working on, but is kind of going on in the background, is I am reading With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I'm reading this for Meg's Patreon book club pick. It's fine. I'm doing the audiobook for this, but this is what I was listening to while I was walking Charmin. This is a good audiobook where I don't need to have the physical book with me because I don't need to pay that close of attention to anything. But I did manage to complete 9% of this while on our walks, so that brings us to about, I think, 48%. of the entire book read. And then so far, while I did my first pacing of the day, I got up to page 126 and I completed about 22 pages of Dune Messiah. This one is going to be interesting to read while I pace. I'm really happy I have this like soft paperback that I can do with the audiobook, because it is one that I need to kind of be focused on the words on the page, which is proving to be helpful though, because it's not giving me time to kind of think about what I'm doing. I'm focused on the story and I'm engrossed in these characters and what they're doing. So it's keeping my mind occupied while I'm keeping my body occupied. Those are all the updates I have for you for today. Like I said, well, for now, for this morning of today. Like I said, there's a lot of time left, so I will be back in here by the end of the evening. I will also include B-roll throughout the week of me like reading and doing things. I just don't want to do too much of it and get it too repetitive. So I'll be in and out with me talking and a little bit of filming. I do think I'm going to mostly prioritize Dune Messiah though, so that I can wrap it up, and then I will pick up one of the two Sarah Dessens. I am going to be holding off on The Truth About Forever. I'm going to keep that primarily as my gym read because I only have the ebook version of it, so I don't have to worry about taking a physical book with me to the gym. Those are all the things that I've concluded on day 1 and the beginning of day 2. So I will be back and we'll see if I'm still energetic and happy or not. Hi, it's almost the end of the night now on Monday. I will let you know my steps in the morning. I read a little bit more, maybe like 2 or 3 sprints, but not a ton. There were a couple moments where I missed being able to just cuddle up on the couch with my book, but I didn't. I refrained. But it didn't feel like I wasn't reading. Like, I still think I read the amount I would have without this challenge, give or take like maybe 20 pages. I just have been really busy throughout the day. So tomorrow I think is going to be more of an indicator though, because I have not much to do. Like, I made a to-do list, but really I would just like to read. So I think tomorrow is going to be a lot of pacing and reading. The reason I'm tapping out though is because Taylor Swift is announcing something tonight. I didn't expect this. None of us expected this. There's a countdown on her website, and so I simply can't think of anything else for the rest of the night, and I have like 2.5 hours until we find out what those countdowns are for. So I'm gonna be doing other things instead, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, friends. It is day 3. I just got home from taking Sherman on his morning walk. It's a little bit after 10 a.m. and it's already so hot outside, but I wanted to start with updating you on all of my numbers from yesterday. So yesterday I managed to read a total of 57 pages of Dune Messiah, putting me on page 161 starting today. I also listened to about 9% of With a Vengeance, and overall I walked for, sorry, I keep checking my notes, 5,840 steps, which I'm a little surprised by. I think Taylor Swift's announcement took my world by storm a little harder than I expected. I also didn't do a walking exercise yesterday. I did arms, so I don't know if that also played a part in it, but it's middle of the road. I'm fine with it. It was at least about 1,000 steps more than the first day of the challenge when I read nothing, so definitely helped. I definitely read 1,000 steps worth more. I am just overall happy though, because yesterday I didn't get up and moving until about noon, so I'm already 2 or 3 hours ahead of schedule, and that's a good feeling. So I'm probably going to relax for just a little bit. I don't want to go to the gym too early today. I'm gonna kind of wait until I really want to read and then head out, just so I could really be like, you know, fully appreciating the steps I'm taking. So it's just gonna be a pretty chill time at home, and I will bring you along with me when I go later. If it's dead, I'll try and get a couple shots of me walking, and that's where we're at. I kind of wish I could just curl up on this couch and read, but I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to just hang out, have my breakfast, watch a video, and then we will jump in for some more walking. Hello, I just got home from the gym. I am already at 5,000 steps now. I went for about an hour, and then I ran to the grocery store. But already definitely doing a lot more steps than the other 2 days because it's like not even 2 p.m. Now I will say I am not usually a listen to music while at the gym person because I need something for my eyes to focus on. But I never really read while I'm walking, and it was kind of great because my eyes had something to focus on. Like, I was listening to The Truth About Forever. I put the audiobook on and the ebook at the same time so I could do my immersion reading, and it was awesome. I couldn't even see how long I was on the treadmill because it was covered by my phone. So I was just zooming along, listening to my book, happily entertained. And I think it might not be like my every single time I go, but it might be something that I do a lot more often. Like, what I was hoping from this week was it would just help me think of times that I could read while I'm moving that I hadn't thought of before. And then, spoiler alert, this is going to be my bigger challenge for Chaos-October for the entire month. I'm planning on only reading while walking and moving. So I'm hoping that's going to help me find more like habit building moments. But yeah, I'm happy with this experience. I did some good walking and reading this morning, and now I'm gross, so I'm gonna take my shower, let Charmin back inside, and I'll chime in with some book updates later. Hello, it's day 4, so we're officially in the second half of this challenge. Is that right? Sunday, Wednesday. Yes, day 4. I didn't do as much yesterday. Afterwards, I had kind of a poor mental health day, so it was a little bit more relaxing. Not able to escape in my books, which is a little troublesome. I do kind of wish I had forced myself to be up and moving. I think it would have helped me sleep because I ended up not sleeping well. But if I would have been up and moving, I would have been more exhausted, and then I would have maybe slept a little bit better. Today has also been not the most active day, but because Emmett and I went on a date day, so we've been running around a little bit, but mostly kind of driving to different places. I don't know what reading will get done today. I want to read as of right this minute, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to get the chance to read. So I'll jump back in, like I said, but it's been, I think it is a pretty accurate week though. Like, I don't think I'm not picking the book up because I would have to be walking. Maybe like once or twice a day that happens, but otherwise I am still reading what I think I would be reading this week. That being said, like, this wasn't a week I had to read anything for work, so I had a bit more of a chill time, but it is like a good idea of what this challenge will be like for October. So I'll be back, but I'm gonna go relax for a little bit longer. Good morning. It is pretty early morning, Thursday, day 4. I literally just woke up and jumped right on camera. Like, I think I've at most filled my water and let Charmin out because I need to update you on about 2 days. So let's do some accountability, checking in, see what the situation is going into these last 3 days, right? 5, 6, 7. So on Tuesday, after I went, I think I mentioned I went in the morning, I was doing good, I was on my reading shit, and then I had a poor mental health night, so I didn't do much more, and my total steps that day ended up being 6,006 steps. I read a total of 7% of With a Vengeance, and a total of 16% of The Truth About Forever. I felt okay that day. At least I had done some movement, you know. I think, like I said, if I would have exhausted myself, I might have, you know, had a better mental health catch up, but that's just good to log that information for the future. Now, yesterday, we have some observations to make. So on Wednesday, my lazy date day, apparently, which we didn't know was going to be that lazy, but then we ended up driving for like 2 hours. So on Wednesday, I walked for a total of 3,334 steps and listened to a whopping total of 1% of The Truth About Forever. Now here's the kicker. Okay, first of all of this is happening like while Taylor Swift is surprise dropping announcing things. So yesterday, you know, I expected to hang out and do some reading, and then Taylor was on the podcast, so I was listening to that. And then I actually get up to start walking, and my mom calls me. So I'm like, okay, well, if my mom's calling me, I'm going to sit down and talk to her because I need to stay, you know, relaxed and refreshed for when I'm reading so that I don't burn out while I'm walking and reading. Then my mom talks to me for an hour, and by the time I'm off the phone with her, it's bedtime. Like, it was like 11:30. I couldn't have even had that many steps before it was gonna refresh my Fitbit anyway. So I feel the need to point out, a little bit joking, but a little bit serious, that this entire challenge, I thought the amount of walking was going to have an effect on the amount of reading I did. But truthfully, reading is kind of affecting the amount of walking I'm doing. Because if I'm not reading, I feel like I don't want to be walking. Now that's definitely a me problem, and something that I just have to shift my perspective on. Like, in general in my life, I can walk when I'm not reading. So I guess, I don't know, just usually if I was trying to get my steps in and I wasn't doing this challenge and I was listening to a podcast, I would try and walk during it. But because of this challenge, I was like, no, I'm gonna just hang out and then I'll walk after. I don't think this is an issue I'm gonna have for the rest of this challenge. Like, for the next 3 days, I think I'll be fine and just operate like normal, continue on my normal schedule. But it was a really good observation to have for when I do this larger challenge in October, because I need to remember that even though I'm doing this challenge, I can walk when I'm not reading. Just remind my brain that that is an option, even though it doesn't really feel like one. Anyway, thank you for catching up with me. So now it's Thursday morning. I don't have a single thing planned today, which is pretty exciting. It is getting kind of close to when I need to finish these Sarah Dessen books because our discussion is rapidly approaching. So my big plan today is to stay home, finish at least the one, and then maybe start the next one. That's all I got. Charmin is crying to come back inside, so I'm gonna let him in, and I'm gonna get reading, and I will check in a little while. Hi, I'm tired. I just finished With a Vengeance, and I'm giving it a 3. It was very, mid. I have a complicated relationship with Riley Sager. He kind of varies from as low as a 1.5 star up to a 5 star. This one I'm gonna give a 3. I just felt like for every positive aspect I liked about it, there was some cheesy writing or something that just made me roll my eyes that I was like, okay, I'm annoyed now. So I gave it a solid 3. I think it's definitely a vibe. And if you already really love, the train setting, you'll really enjoy it. That being said, I paced the entire time I finished it. I don't know exactly what percentage that was, but I will update you at the end of the day. And I'm over 6,000 steps now. So today is the moving day because it's a little after 2, and I still have a lot of day ahead of me. So I'm gonna go take a little bit of a break. I gotta run up to the store, and that is gonna be an hour of driving. So it will definitely eat into my reading time, but hopefully I'm still gonna be in the mood to read after taking a nice long break. Hi friends, good morning on day 6. I really can't believe how quickly this week has gone. I'm trying to hang out by the vision board today, really, feel connected to my goals again going into these next 2 days, because I woke up feeling a little low and I'm just not sure I'm gonna pull it off the last 2 days. I need the energy, Martine, coming through. So yesterday on Wednesday, I did complete a total of 7,644 steps. I didn't read anything other than finishing With a Vengeance. I read 51% of that book, and that book is 383 pages. So I read a really good chunk yesterday. The only goals I really feel like I need to hit this week is still finishing those 2 Sarah Dessen books. Our live show is on Sunday. I have 2 days. I'm getting a little stressed there. I just don't know if I'm gonna make it. Sorry, I feel like I need to add a little bit of tension to the end of this vlog, because it's actually been, I don't know, a bit of an easier challenge than I expected. Now I know I'm not hitting these crazy number goals every day, pages and steps, but in general, the experience of reminding myself to get up and walking when I read has just been an easier transition than I expected it to be. I just expected my mind to be kind of at this, hitting this wall at the thought of doing it, and that's just not the case. And yesterday, I wanted to walk and watch a video, so that's what I did instead. I didn't worry about reading while I was walking. So that, I think, is a good mentality to keep going into the longer version of this challenge, but I'm still feeling good about what this challenge is teaching me leading up to that one. Today, I don't have much planned. I need to go get groceries, so that's gonna definitely happen. I don't think Sherman's happy I'm filming. He's just growling at me. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go read and feel Martine bless me with their vibes. Good morning. I overslept. It is day 7, the last day of this challenge. Full transparency, yesterday, I don't know the exact number, but I think my steps were just over 5,000 for the day. I read 37% of Once and For All. It's okay so far. It's dealing with a topic I didn't expect it to, so that's pretty interesting, and I'm along for the ride. Yesterday, though, was honestly like the worst day in terms of my motivation. Like, I was just tired. I didn't even want to do the reading and the walking that I did do. I just wanted to curl up and watch movies and watch Cars. So I did end up doing that in the evening. But that does mean that in order to give myself a smiling Martine, I need to work really hard today. The live show for both of these books is technically tomorrow, I think around like 3 p.m. So I do have the morning if I don't finish, but I kind of want to pretend I don't have it for a little while and just really try and be motivated to push for today. I know if I looked, I could figure out how much I have left of each book, but I don't want to know. I just kind of want to blindly pretend it's doable and not consider the fact that I'll be exhausted if it's like 5 hours of walking. But we're just gonna not worry that far ahead. We're gonna take it 1 hour at a time. It's later than I expected today. It's already 11. We're gonna have breakfast and we're gonna get going, and I will keep you updated on how this last day is going to go. I think today is definitely going to be a go to the gym for a little while kind of day. It's almost 3. It's about to thunderstorm. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm moist. I walked for an hour, but I did increase my incline quite a while, and it was actually fun. It put my brain again focused on I don't know, I just wasn't focused on the time as much because there was a little bit more of a challenge, and I had my ebook and my audiobook going at the same time. So all that to say, I'm sweaty. I'm at 50% now of The Truth About Forever. I will check in and give you an idea of what I have left in both books in a little while, but now I'm gonna drive home, and you probably won't see me again until I take my shower, and I don't love being on camera with wet hair, so it'll probably be a couple hours when my hair also dries. So I'm gonna go home before it thunderstorms because it's getting a little rumbly outside. Sorry if the AC was loud that whole clip. I'll see you later. Hello, I'm home, I'm relaxed. I've showered, I've had dinner, and now we're gonna see how much more we can complete in these books. Hello friends, it is honestly earlier than it feels. It's about 9 p.m. and it genuinely feels like it's 1 in the morning. I'm very, very pooped from this day. It was a lot of walking as I didn't appropriately prepare for the deadline for my books. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm feeling good. I'm just getting sleepy early. So this is probably going to be my last check-in for the night. I just am maybe going to read more though because it is still pretty early, but the lighting's getting pretty bad in here. I just think the more tired I get, the less I'm going to want to come on here. You will see me one more time so we can do a full wrap-up, talk about how today went, talk about how the week in general went, and we will find out if we think Martine is happy or not with me. I did, though, finish The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen, so one of the 2 things I have left is completed, and now I just need to finish Once and For All. This isn't quite where I'm at. I'm quite a bit further in, a little over 50%, and we will see how much of that is finished, but I will talk to you soon. Hi friends, unfortunately it's been a little while since I jumped in here and checked in. The challenge is over. It actually ended 3 weeks ago now. I basically just kind of hit a mental health low and didn't want to be anywhere near a camera for a little while. Honestly, I kind of still don't want to be near a camera, but that's okay. We're going to try and get this ball rolling yet again. So let's go ahead and actually wrap up this vlog so that I can get excited about a new project instead. So on the very final day of this challenge, I did manage to read 10,377 steps, which was the first time over the entire week that I officially hit that 10,000 step goal. And it's entirely because I had to read so much of Sarah Dessen and With a Vengeance throughout the entire week. The 3 things I actually totally completed were the 2 Sarah Dessen books and With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. My average steps for the entire week were 6,165, which I'm really happy with, considering I wasn't really doing anything to try to hit those steps in particular. Like, I was just kind of getting a baseline of how I do in a normal week. And I think, you know, it's a good number to hit where I can see where I can improve. I'm energetic to improve that number, but I also don't feel embarrassed to share that number. Overall, I'm really, really happy that I did this challenge. Again, this will be my challenge for the entire month of October for Chaos-October. Actually, right when I'm done filming this little clip, I'm going to go ahead and film my announcement for that project. It's not gonna be anything crazy. We're just kind of like actually opening it up to anybody else that wants to join beyond our core little group. So I need to make a small little announcement for that. And I think that this just helped put me in the right headspace to go into that challenge. We are a couple of weeks into September now, and I have been keeping track of all my steps and all of my reading for this month. The numbers are worse than they were for this week, maybe because I don't have a camera to keep me accountable, but I also just think I am in a very unfortunate reading slump, as well as that mental health slump. So we're gonna try and turn it around for October, so please be sure to subscribe and stay connected with what I have coming up. But before we log off, we need to readdress the question of, did we please Martine? Now, Martine, if you're still watching this video, which, hi bestie, I hope that you're not mad at me and you never were to begin with, and you're not mad that I used your likeness so much in this video. You're my inspiration. Let's go with that. I love you. Anyway, now we need to see, do we think that Martine is happy Martine now with my efforts? And I think that Martine would be very, very happy that I mostly committed and didn't cheat at all. Like, I think Martine would be really proud of me in the fact that even though some days I didn't do much, I didn't give up on the challenge at all. And I finished at least the 2 things I had to read. I didn't read Dune Messiah. That's fine. It ended up being that I wanted to read the Riley Sager book, but it was all for the same goals of something easy to read. But I did. I persevered through the heat, and I read both of my Sarah Dessen books, and I did everything that I really, really needed to do that week. So I think I have earned happy Martine. Thank you so much for watching. My house is a bit of a mess. I have a lot that I need to do. I'm trying to get back and used to filming again, like I said. Please don't forget to check out Martine's channel, linked down below. I literally love them so much. They're always coming up with such incredible ideas. And I just think everybody should be a fan of Martine. So I'm gonna go. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more from me. And keep an eye out, because coming up right after this video should be my announcement for Chaos-October if you want to choose some sort of crazy goal to join us with. And I will see you in that one. Bye!